Liverpool's title may already be won. Chelsea's title race is definitely on. Arsenal look like they're soon to be gone. And Man City are finished. You watching Foot and Mouth. Welcome back to Foot in Mouth. It has been a while. The delay is because I was moving house. So while that is definitely yay for me, it's also been a hell of a lot of effort. But it looks like I'm finally settled. So thank you for the patience. Thank you for sticking with us. And you are back finally with Foot in Mouth, the show that is all about football. A lot has happened since I last sat down here, and I'm not going to get into all that because that's old news now. I was thinking that by the time I did sit down to do another video, I'd be speaking about just how close to the title Arsenal currently are, and that hasn't exactly happened. But there has been some interesting things going on, namely Manchester City's downfall. I don't think anyone could have seen this coming. One win in their last 11 games across all competitions. That is madness. And I will say that currently Pep Guardiola, not that he wasn't before, but he is a better man than me, because at this point I'd be putting all the blame on the players and jumping ship, especially with the impending judgment on their court case coming through. Last week, maybe just over last week ago, their court case, that hearing came to an end, and the 115 charges were upped to 130 charges, and in the next few weeks or months we should hear the final verdict on that case. But yeah, the way the players are playing on the pitch, I feel like every game is just another charge to add on, because I don't understand what's happening with Man City. We keep speaking about downfalls needing to be studied. I can't think of anyone that needs to be studied more than this Man City downfall. This club went from being the pinnacle of football to a laughing stock. Look, it's not all that bad and doom and gloom. I mean, yes, Man City are probably the only club that can have a run like they've had and still only be just 3 points off the mighty Arsenal. So I guess there's something to fight for that side. I think that at this point, though, their title hopes are done, surely. I mean, if they can manage to come back from this bad run of form and still end up snatching another league title somehow without the assistance of any referees, I would be very impressed. I didn't think I could be any more impressed by this club or this manager at this point in my life. But if they pull that off from here, then I think this will go down as their biggest achievement as a football club, never mind the Champions League win. I personally believe that this court case itself is a big factor in their downfall. I think that this is definitely getting to the manager. It's definitely getting to Pep. And I think a lot of that now is starting to show that it's getting to the players as well. The players are still good, you know. Let's not forget that they do still have the England Player of the Year in Phil Foden. They do still have the best striker we've seen in recent years in Erling Haaland. They've got a lot of quality in that team. And I think that this goes much deeper than just, oh, they've been figured out or they've been found out. I think that these players and this manager are genuinely capitulating under the pressure of this court case. Obviously, Manchester Derby happened this weekend, and I thought that this was a big opportunity for Man City to really turn things around. And this is probably the first time we've ever seen a Manchester Derby where both clubs have looked not quite at the races. Normally, you know, Man City are at least flying high at the time, or Man United are there's always one club that has the form going into this game. There was no real informed club going into this game. That being said, I would have still put my money on Man City if I were a betting man, which thankfully I'm not, because I would have put money on Man City, and somehow Man United came out winners of this game. I say somehow. It was all thanks to Amad Diallo, who, man of the match, man of the weekend, player of the week, bro. Like, what a player. I'm so happy that this dude is still becoming someone that is consistently playing in this Manchester United team now. Caleb, if you're watching, we can go back WhatsApp chats for I don't know how long ago, where I was saying I don't understand why this kid's being loaned out, because since yesterday I've been saying that he's been good. But yeah, he absolutely deserves all the plaudits for getting Man United that win in a Manchester derby. I think it's huge for Amorim. It's just another win that he has over Manchester City this season alone. Obviously, it wasn't as flattering as the win that he had against them while he was still at Sporting. But 2-1 to Man United, I think any fan, player, even the manager, they'll take that, bro. They will take that. And it started out quite controversial as well, because obviously the absence of Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford from the team completely, never mind just being on the bench, just gone. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this is this is a Man City win all day long. But I was proven wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong because I am all for this Manchester City downfall, even though Arsenal don't seem to be the club that are benefiting from it directly. But 2-1 to Man United. Started off rosy for Man City with Guardiola getting a goal to open the scoring, 1-0 to City. And Pep looked like the old Pep, just a little bit. You know, he was very engaging with the cameras. He was smiling. Looked a very different person by the full-time whistle. Boy, I can tell you that much. This obviously doesn't do very much for Man United in terms of the title, in terms of their league placing. But for Man City, this is just one more unwanted result, bro, and they are now fiercely in a top 4 battle. I don't understand what it's going to take for them to get out of this rut, in all honesty. Like I say, only 1 win in their last 11 games across all competitions. They're already out of the Carabao Cup, so they don't have that competition to think about anymore. I actually don't know what they're doing in the FA Cup. This move has been long, so my brain is a little foggy. But Carabao Cup, they're gone. That's usually a trophy that Pep likes to play for. Pep likes to win. Always speaks about how it boosts the morale. I believe it boosts the morale for any club that wins it because it's like a mid-season trophy that you lift, which I think just kind of wets the palate a little bit for the other competitions. But they really have to focus on the Prem because things in the Champions League for them still aren't looking so good either. With this new format, obviously the top 8 just go straight qualifications and then the next 8 go through playoffs or some shit. I hate this new format. But yeah, Man City are not safe in the Champions League either. So it's pretty much an all-round downfall for Man City, which again is fantastic. But it's also so fascinating at the same time, bruh. It has to be the court case. It has to be these charges. Because Pep Guardiola is still, in my opinion, the best coach that we've seen in modern football. Fergie is still my GOAT. But I think after Fergie, then you get Pep. Then you get Mikel Arteta. It's a very unexpected turn of events, considering how they were doing last season. And I am annoyed that Arsenal aren't the main club that are benefiting from this because Liverpool are basically leading the way without even having to play a game, apparently. Because when the Merseyside derby was postponed, that was a weekend where everyone thought, okay, cool, this is where Arsenal start to close the gap, put on some pressures on Liverpool. But no, it wasn't Arsenal to put pressure on them. It was Chelsea. And listen, any Chelsea fan out there that is busy saying, oh, we're not in a title race. Stop lying. Stop lying. You are in a title race. And if you aren't, this is the weirdest way for a club to not be in a title race, bro. Where you're about, 3 or 4? What's the points? How many points? 2 points behind Liverpool. 2 points behind Liverpool. Yes, they have a game in hand, but max 5 points behind Liverpool. You're not in the title race. Sure thing. You spend over £1 billion. You're 2 points behind the league leaders. You're not in the title race. Do you hear how ridiculous you sound? Chelsea are flying high at the minute. And as much as I hate to see it, I also do love to see it because this is what makes football such a wonderful sport. You know, you get a not first time manager. Enzo Maresca did coach at Leicester, but it's his first time in the Premier League. And I didn't expect him to be doing nearly as well as he's been doing. I've been saying that week in, week out, off camera, obviously, because we haven't been doing any videos. But I think that this guy deserves a lot of apologies from myself and from a lot of other people that doubted him. Cole Palmer obviously is Cole Palmer. I thought that he'd slow down this season, which he kind of has because he's like in and out with it. It's just on the games where he does perform, it's always like 3 goal involvements, you know what I mean? And then he'll have 1 or 2 games where he does nothing, and then it's 3 goal involvements. And then so the numbers are there. I just think that they can also be quite skewed because there definitely are a few games that this guy hasn't shown up for. At least he showed up against Spurs. That always helps. But yeah, Chelsea absolutely in the title race. And anyone that says otherwise is ridiculous. They obviously had another decent weekend. They beat Brentford 2-1. I think Brentford came through with a late goal to make it 2-1. So 2-0 for the most part. And as an Arsenal fan, I don't know what we're doing at this point, bro. It looks like Arsenal. I say it looks like Arsenal. We clearly don't want this title because the way that we have been playing lately is questionable at best. We are very goal shy. And look, I'm trying to beat these allegations of being branded as Set Piece FC, or even worse, bruh, Stoke FC. Which, if you know the history between Arsenal and Stoke, it's very disrespectful, okay? It's very disrespectful. We don't appreciate this. We do not need that label. But it's hard to beat those allegations when the style of play that we have at the moment looks the way that it does. We are dominating games. We are dominating games and we are just finding no joy in front of goal, which is agonizing to watch, especially when these games are so late, bro. Because now I'm staying up to like midnight sometimes watching a draw, and that's just ridiculous. If you're going to make me stay up till midnight, at least give me something to celebrate, boy. Not celebrate the fact that I can finally go to bed. Bukayo Saka, he's been having some up and down days. But for the most part, he's been up. Martin Odegaard, when he returned from injury, it looked like we were finally getting back to it, bro. We had a run of games where we'd scored 4 goals or more, you know what I mean? But now even Martin Odegaard himself has been having a little bit of a dip in his form. But I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him because he's done enough. He's got credit in the bank. One person that I think is starting to run out of that credit in the bank is Mikel Arteta, unfortunately. I can defend this guy in every which way, but this past weekend, where's my mind? This past weekend against Fulham, this was one, not against Fulham, my word, this past weekend against Everton, this is one of those games where you look at the manager and you go, yeah, this one may be on you, bro. Because while we did create chances and we did dominate and we did not take our opportunities, I think the subs were questionable. Definitely questionable. And I think the closer we get to January, the more and more apparent it's getting that in the last transfer window, beginning of the season, the mistakes that we made then are coming more and more to light the closer we get to January. So I'm just hoping that in January, we do something in the attacking department. We did do something in the attacking department in the last window where we brought in Raheem Sterling, but I forget that this guy even plays for Arsenal because of how little he's used. I don't see the point. We might as well have just kept Reece Nelson. I think Reece Nelson's got more goal involvements at Fulham than Sterling does at Arsenal so far. But yeah, look, that was Arteta's decision. I'm not obviously in the boardroom, in the behind the scenes making these decisions, so I don't know what could have possessed him to make that decision to bring in Sterling. I was even a little bit excited about Sterling. You know, when he finally was announced on deadline day, I was like, cool, I'll take Raheem at the club, bro. He was coached under Arteta at Man City. He did a hell of a job that side. I'm sure he can at least replicate some of that, but it doesn't even look like he's going to get the opportunity to do that because Arteta just does not use this guy. So, yeah, a lot of question marks going into the January window. Obviously, a striker is the first thing on everybody's minds when it comes to Arsenal and their transfer dealings. However, that being said, in this game against Fulham and like that game against Everton and like that game against Fulham, this is those are those games where it's like you could have had the best striker in the world and he would have done nothing because he would have got no service, bro. So I'm still more inclined to think that we need a more influential wide player, someone down the middle maybe. We definitely don't have an Odegaard replacement for when Odegaard does start having a dip in form. Would have been nice to have Smith Rowe, I'll say that much. But yeah, Arsenal, mathematically, we're still in the race. Mathematically, you can't count us out just yet. But from what we're seeing on the pitch, why would you count us in, basically, at this point? Which is sad to say. You know, I was one of the firm believers where if Man City were going to have a dip in form, Arsenal were going to be first in line to take advantage of that. But no, doesn't look like it. And now we are currently, how many points is this ahead of Nottingham Forest? We are 2 points ahead of Nottingham Forest. We're sitting in third, 2 points ahead of Nottingham Forest, 4 points behind Chelsea, 6 points behind Liverpool, have a game in hand. It's not looking good, bruv. He's got to turn things around, you know. He's got to turn things around. This week we have a game coming up against, I want to say Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. And then we have Crystal Palace again in the Premier League. So those back-to-back games against the same team, I think sometimes is a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, you know. I would like to win them both. We should be winning them both. Even though Crystal Palace did just get a win over the weekend, we absolutely should be winning them both. Set pieces or no set pieces. But I'd like to see a few more open play goals coming through. Which, to be fair, we have scored our fair share of, even with these set piece allegations. You know, we just happen to be that good at set pieces now that corners have become our penalties. These two games are definitely a big opportunity for Arsenal. Obviously, Carabao Cup is still a competition that we can win. I'd say it's definitely a competition we can win. Winning competitions is something that Arteta has to absolutely do some of now at this point, 5 years into his Arsenal career. And yeah, I said to Ethan a while ago that when it comes to the whole Arteta out agenda, if we get to the end of the season and we don't have a trophy, I think context would matter. Like before I make my decision of, Arteta out. Right now, the context is not very much in Arteta's favor because a lot of this looks like we are just victims of our own shortcomings, and a lot of those shortcomings are down to that transfer window. I had faith in the team after the little work that we did do. Calafiori's been a very good signing. I think Mikel Marino is still a decent player who still deserves a lot more time before he can be criticized the way that he has been sometimes since he's been playing for us. But yeah, I think Arteta is definitely going to have to go all out for this Carabao Cup at the very least, bro. Because I think a lot of Arsenal fans can be a little bit more lenient or forgiving if he brings home even that trophy this season. But yeah, as far as our Premier League run goes, bro, we got our work cut out for us right now. It just seems like we are allergic to capitalizing on clubs like Man City and Liverpool dropping points. Whenever they do it, we just got to kind of either do the same or outdo them and do it in even worse fashion. So, Arteta, boys, obviously you guys are watching the show. I know Arsenal frequent this show. Just wake up, okay? Wake up, look in the mirror, do as Don Robbie says, and believe. The team is good. The team is good. I just don't understand why we are so goal shy at the moment. And come January, spend some money, Cronkies. I know you guys have done a lot. You've obviously bought Declan Rice for us. You obviously bought more than Declan Rice for us. My brain's not working right now. But do more. I know it's a lot to ask, but do more. Come January, buy a striker. Get Gyökeres in. Just get Gyökeres in. Seriously, I don't see why we're going to pander with Isak. Isak's a brilliant striker, but you can buy two Gyökeres for the same price as one Alexander Isak at this point. I'd take just one Gyökeres, okay? Just get Gyökeres in through the door. Get us a striker. Get us a nice wide man, a player who can play out wide, someone that we can flip out with Martinelli, because Martinelli, boy, what are you doing this season? Seriously, I don't recognize this kid anymore, bro. And Trossard as well. We can't rely on Trossard and Martinelli on the left. The left is so weak at the moment, and the right is fairly inconsistent, to be fair. A lot of that's down to injuries, but still, they need support, bruv. So I think January needs to be a busy one for Arsenal. Otherwise, we absolutely can kiss this title goodbye. Staying on the Carabao Cup, though, like I said, Carabao Cup games are this week. It's the quarterfinals. There are some good games, namely Spurs versus Manchester United, which going into this game, you know, just when you count Man United out, I always say that, bro, even though for the most part, this season at least, that's always been proven to be incorrect. But when you count Man United out, they do the business. This is seriously a grudge match considering what Spurs did to Man United earlier this season in the Premier League. So I think that adds something to this game. I think what also adds to this game is the fact that unless Spurs are playing against Manchester City, they are pretty much destined to lose or draw at this point. I guess unless they're playing City or Southampton, because they did smash Southampton 5-0 this weekend. 4-0, 5-0, either or. It's Southampton, bro. They're gone. Aaron Ramsdale is getting relegated again. And as sad as I am for him, yeah, I'm not really sad for him. I mean, he's had some bad performances in goal. Man United away, so that kind of puts a spin on things. But when you think about the morale going into this game, Man United are coming into the back of this with a big Manchester derby win. And I think that this game could also see the reintroduction of Garnacho and Rashford. Two players of which I think are going to come into this game with a lot to prove, because they aren't going to want to be dropped from the squad again anytime soon. What better way to make yourself stay than by putting on a show against Spurs, bro? Ange Postecoglou. He's a guy that's been consistently on the chopping block, or at least there or thereabouts for the most part this season. Spurs currently sitting in 10th in the Prem. I know that doesn't matter much in the Carabao Cup, but I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly, which today doesn't seem like it is very much, I'm pretty sure Spurs kind of squeaked through this competition so far. It hasn't been a very confident display to get themselves to the quarterfinals. They are very much in need of a trophy as well, and like Ange says, he always wins something in his second season, mate. So maybe this is Man United's time to have another dip. I'm very much supporting Man United going into this game, because I would rather support anybody than support Spurs, even if it's just for one game. But yeah, Man United versus Spurs is a grudge match. It's one that I'm expecting a lot of goals from. Not because of particularly great finishing, just because of particularly average defending from both sides. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this game. Who do you think is going to come out on top? I'm going to go Man United win this one 3-2. I think it's going to be a 3-2 Man United win. Other games that we got this week are Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Like I said, I think we'll see a very rotated squad from Arsenal. And I think that those rotations are going to be very welcomed, considering what we've been seeing from the first team squad lately. So, bring in the kids, bro. Bring in the kids. I don't think we'll see our second choice goalkeeper make an appearance just yet. Neto from Bournemouth. I think we need to, especially at this stage in the competition, we've got to do everything we can to get ourselves into the final and subsequently win the competition. So I'm expecting some rotation, but not major rotation. Bring Kivio back into the back line. We saw Gabriel come back into the Premier League starting lineup. I think get Kivio back in again because Kivio did look decent for the most part. Lewis Kelly at left back, give him another start. The boy started in the Champions League, looked good. Followed it up with another decent performance against Everton, to be fair. I know it was 0-0, but I mean, he wasn't at fault for anything really. I don't even know what you do on the wings. Start Sterling, bro. Just start Sterling in this game. Seriously. I think we can afford to. It's a home game against Crystal Palace. And honestly, I do think that he does deserve at least some opportunities to show why he deserves to be in the squad, why Arteta brought him in. Because right now, a lot of fans, like I said myself, we confused, bro. Why are you there? Why'd you bring this guy here? So start Sterling. Maybe give Saka a rest. Try and rest Odegaard. But at the same time, if you take Odegaard out that team, where does... Oh, Nwaneri. Take out Odegaard, start Nwaneri. Okay, just do it. Listen to me, Arteta. Listen to me for this one game. Just listen to me. I think regardless of how we line up, we should win this game. We should win this game. So I'm going to say Arsenal win this one 2-0. I'm going to say 2-0 Arsenal win. Other games we got is Newcastle at home to Brentford. Brentford, I do like the team. I am a fan of the team and the play style and the players that are at that club for the most part, to be honest. I'm not looking past Newcastle for this one. At St. James Park, Newcastle, another trophy-hungry club. They got very close last season, I think, or 2 seasons ago. I think the fact that they're in the quarterfinals, I think this is going to be a big moment for them. They're going to want to get over the line. I think Newcastle are going to take this one. I think it's going to be another 2-1 L for Brentford. We got Southampton at home to Liverpool. So that's 10-0 Liverpool, naturally. And that about does it for Carabao Cup games this week. I will do another video where I do some Premier League previews and predictions as well. Will I be with Ethan and Sponzy? Remains to be seen. We'll see how fast I can get shit even more set and settled in this new place. But look, news-wise, I probably should have touched on this earlier. Mudryk of Chelsea has been found out to be using he's doping. He's been found guilty for doping. Apparently, there were 2 samples tested, sample A, sample B. Sample A's results came back, and it was an illegal substance that was found. I don't understand how this has been helping him at all. So, if anything, just let him go, bro. Let him go. I don't think this is worth the publicity. I don't think it's worth all the talky that's going to be happening around it, because this is not performance enhancing, whatever he's been using, bruh. Whatever he's been using has been performance detrimental. So I think that he got the short end of the stick as is, bro. Leave that man be. He doesn't need any punishment. Also, maybe sell him to Arsenal for like 10 more. You know, I still think that Arteta's got at least one more Chelsea project player in him. Havertz was fun while it lasted. It looks like it's dying out quite a little bit at the moment. I still got a lot of love for Havertz, but I also do sneakily believe that Arteta could make something happen with Mudryk. And with the way Martinelli and Trossard have been playing, I'd take a chance on him. I can't even lie. Thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you again for the patience with the episodes. I'm going to try and keep things more consistent. I feel like I say that every fortnight, not a reference to Fortnite. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.